What is up, everybody? In today's video, we're talking about many days of severe weather across the U.S. and a tropical system that is expected to make landfall in the Carolinas. Let's get right into today's video. Alright, the first thing we're going to be talking about in today's video is this enhanced risk of severe storms that we currently do have, with severe thunderstorms already occurring today on the 5th of July. With this enhanced risk of severe weather that ranges from Lame Deer all the way over to Rapid City. So if you're on these regions and portions of extreme western South Dakota into extreme northeastern Wyoming and portions of extreme southeastern Montana, be prepared as you are in an enhanced risk of severe storms today. There's an isolated chance of a tornado or two possible, so be prepared for that tonight and make sure to take shelter if you do get a tornado warning, but only a tornado or two is possible with these storms. But there is a risk for significant damaging winds, 75 miles an hour or more. So if you're on those yellow or especially in those red and the hatched regions, be really prepared for today, as you do have a risk for significant damaging winds up to 80 miles an hour across these regions. So significant damaging winds that could do a lot of damage to your homes, and then an isolated risk of significant hail across Lame Deer, Broadus, Forsyth, Hardin, and Crow Agency for some 2-inch in diameter or more hail across those areas. So be prepared for that too. Now, for tomorrow's severe weather risk, the severe weather risk kind of shifts a little bit further to the south on the 6th of July here tomorrow, and this does include portions of portions of western Kansas into eastern Colorado and portions of southwestern Nebraska regions under the severe weather risk for today, including Dodge City, Liberal, Ulysses, all the way over to Lamar, Goodland, Hayes, North Platte, Fort Morgan, Alliance, McCook, and Sidney and Sterling is all under the severe weather risk in Colorado, Kansas, and Nebraska areas for tomorrow, with a slight risk 2 out of 5 of severe weather that we do have in yellow. There's an isolated chance for a tornado or two possible, so be prepared for that, as we do have some environment capabilities that are favorable for tornadoes across these areas, but really not much of a tornado risk there. Maybe a tornado or two possible in that green area. So if you're in North Platte area, just be prepared for tomorrow for an isolated risk of a tornado or two. Now, the wind risk is a significant risk for wind. If you are in that yellow the hatched black area right there, if you're in that area in Goodland, McCook, North Platte, into Sidney and Sterling, you are under a risk of significant damaging winds. So be prepared for that today, tomorrow on the 6th of July, as we could have some damaging winds in excess of 75 miles an hour or more that could cause some damage. So make sure to keep your things indoors and be prepared for that risk. And we also do have a risk of significant hail ranging from Scottsbluff, Alliance, Sidney, Sterling, McCook, and North Platte tomorrow. So if you're on those areas, we also have a risk of 2-inch in diameter or greater hail. So make sure to have your cars indoors whenever these storms start to occur, because there could be some big hailers with this tomorrow. Now, for day 3, the severe weather risk kind of includes the same exact regions that it did include on tomorrow. But on the 7th of July, we do have the severe weather risk ranging from Hayes, Kansas, all the way over to Goodland, McCook, all the way over to North Platte, Sterling, Kearney, and Broken Bow areas in portions of Nebraska and Kansas, and into portions of extreme and north eastern Colorado areas here, with this slight risk 2 out of 5 yellow risk of severe weather that we do have in effect. There's no tornado risk with these storms, but we do have a risk. I'm on the wrong thing. My bad. Sorry, but there's a probabilistic risk with a significant hatched area, which could mean damaging winds or hail. I do think we could have a damaging wind or hail threat here. So if you're on this area, North Platte, Broken Bow, and McCook, you are under risk for significant severe weather for day 3 on the 7th of July. We will get more details once we get closer to this, but definitely be prepared in those areas. Now, the last thing I do want to talk about here is this tropical system that we do currently have across portions of South Carolina and North Carolina here, with these tropical storm warnings in effect, as currently Tropical Storm Chantal is right over the the Atlantic Ocean, really honing in on South Carolina and North Carolina currently. It's set to make landfall really close to McClellanville and North Santee, really close to Myrtle Beach areas too, under this risk that we do have here. Right now, the minimum pressure is 1,006 millibar. It is wind speeds of 46 miles an hour and gusts of 58 miles an hour. It is expected to make landfall with wind speeds of 52 miles an hour and gusts of 63 miles an hour at 1 a.m. on July 6th. So not too far from now, at 1 a.m. will this thing fully make landfall here, as tropical storm warnings are now in effect, as we could see some strong winds with gusts up to 40 miles an hour, maybe even 50 miles an hour in some spots around Georgetown into maybe even Myrtle Beach areas, as the strongest core of the winds will be on the right side of this, close to Myrtle Beach. The left side will see a lot less impacts from this, as due to the different wind shear and environment kinematics right now. There's a lot of dry air further onto the left side of this, so the right side's getting all the rain. The right side of the storm is going to get most of the rain and the strong winds from this storm. So most of the rain will hone in on Wilmington, Myrtle Beach, and the strong winds will be on the right side of the cone, where this thing is going to make landfall. So definitely be prepared here. We already have tropical storm warnings in effect. So if you're on Georgetown, Myrtle Beach, all the way up to Wilmington areas, we do have tropical storm warnings in effect, as we could see some strong winds up to 40 to gusts up to 40 or even 50 miles an hour gusts, so be prepared for that. And we could see rain, even up to 6 inches of rain in some spots. As a lot of rain, we have a lot more moisture than originally expected. So once this rain starts to head into portions of North Carolina and South Carolina, including Myrtle Beach and Wilmington, we will have a lot of rain start to come in. So I am a little bit concerned about that flash flooding threat that we could have into the overnight hours tonight, into the morning hours tomorrow. So be prepared for that, as this is going to be heading in tonight. The last thing that I do want to mention with this storm is we also have an isolated risk of a tornado or two today into tomorrow near Myrtle Beach and Wilmington, as a marginal risk of severe weather is in effect for both days, and then continuing into Fayetteville, Myrtle Beach into Whiteville, Wilmington into Jacksonville areas in North Carolina and South Carolina, with an isolated chance of a tornado or two possible. So if you are in those regions, an isolated tropical spin-up tornado, a weak tornado would be possible there. So be prepared for that, but nothing too significant in those regions. That is just something I want to mention. And the last thing I did also want to mention is we do have a risk of excessive rainfall with the very heavy rainfall that could come in. So if you're on those yellow and the green areas, you are under a 15% chance of flash flooding, 15 to 40% chance of flash flooding. So be prepared for that across Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, even into day 2, where this could include Raleigh, Charlotte, Winston-Salem, into Fayetteville areas on day 2 tomorrow, where we could have a lot of rainfall that is going to head into these areas and bring a lot of rain that could bring flash flooding. So be prepared for that in those yellow regions for tomorrow. Alright, I hope everybody did enjoy today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more severe weather updates. Hope you guys really did enjoy this video. There's going to be a lot of severe weather over the next few days or so in portions of the northern plains. Basically, it's been like that for a while in Montana, South Dakota, into Wyoming and Nebraska regions, basically every day now. And that tropical system with a tropical storm that's expected to impact North Carolina and South Carolina. So be ready for that, and subscribe with notifications to my channel for severe weather updates. Hope you guys did like today's video, and bye everybody.